So a lot of people immigrate to the United States of America coming from many, many countries. And most Americans think that everybody just stay here, that none of them go back. But I want you to hear this short clip from, one of our sisters here that's going to speak on, that reality that a lot of immigrants actually leave America after about a year or two. Well, let's roll that.
Hey, fun fact for you. Do you know that 60% of the Mexicans that enter the United States return back home after about a year or two? What? The media didn't tell you that? Well, let me tell you, honey, they don't stay. They would like for you to think that everybody that come here, including Jamaicans, that they just stay because it's so amazing, so great, and it's so perfect. A lot of them leave when they realize that there are no jobs. Another fun fact for you. Since 1999, the rich people them in America, the bond millionaires them, they're leaving. They left and they're going elsewhere. You want to know why? Because they too said the American dream is dead and they're going elsewhere to pursue the American dream. So if you tell people that the people with the money in America are leaving and that they're not going to have jobs or anything because they're going to go elsewhere and find their riches, they're going to know that things are not good here. Not like they used to be once upon a time. So they come and they leave, and some of them come like your people them. They leave for good. They're going to other people's countries. So that's why this whole thing about immigration is really dumb. Because people want to leave when they want to leave, and they want to go where they want to be able to go.
What the sister was saying about them leaving after about a year or two is that America isn't an easy country to live in. I mean, not only the way the system is here in America, is that the social structure of America is completely different than other people's countries at the same time. Now, they sell people the American dream. The American dream for a lot of people used to be, hey, I can get married, I can buy a home, off of one job. I can raise my family, I can send my kids to college or trade school, take vacations, just live a good life, okay? And today, that American dream is dead for the majority of people. Millennials is one of the brokest generations that America has ever seen. And Gen Z don't have any money either. They have priced a home so high that even married couples are struggling to buy homes. You have homes that in Texas that used to be around 400,000. Now they have jacked up to 600,000, 700,000, even in the state of Texas, a place where home prices were always good. When you trying to get an apartment, they want you to make 3 times the rent. Some people, even married couples, don't make 3 times the rent in some places. And surely some single people don't make 3 times the rent. So if your rent is $2,000 a month, they want you to make $6,000 a month to pay the rent, when you may make $3,000 a month or $3,200 a month. You can pay your rent, right? But they want you to make 3 times the rent. Who are you trying to rent to when you saying 3 times the rent? If I own the apartment complex, only thing I want to know is if you can afford to pay for it. And I'll just do it old school. I'll say this: hey, pay a deposit and first month's rent. That's it. Now, of course, you got a certain history out, I want to get you in, but I would do it the old school way, because the old school way was fair. It didn't matter about certain things. If you could just prove that you had a job and you can pay for it, then fine. Because they didn't pay for it, then they would just get evicted. It's just that simple. In this country, cannot even afford cars anymore. Car notes have went sky high. There are more $1,000 car notes today than they have ever been in the United States of America. One job, we're talking about for the regular average person. One job, somebody on average making $42,000 a year is basically struggling when it used to be middle class. We used to can afford everything. If you're a teacher, you don't make enough money. If you work in fast food, you don't make enough money. It's a lot of industries that people used to, have a house off of one income. See, the baby boomers, the people that's running this country still, they had a time period where they can work one job, go to a factory or a plant, have a house, have a gang of kids. The wife can stay at home. They can retire with a pension and everything, right? Off of one job. The wife didn't even have to work. Women had the choice to stay home and just raise their kids. Do what women did back in that time period. Today, women are out here working, and that's all done by design, where they wanted women to work because they wanted to expand the workforce in America. Because at one point in time, this country was no such thing as a daycare. There was no such thing. So they got women in the workforce, took women out the home, where now kids aren't having to be cared for. Prices raising up everywhere. They skyrocketed the prices after this pandemic. Unless people making real good money, it's at a point you can't really afford to live in America. They are literally about destroy the middle class. And what they want is, like in a lot of countries, you have the low poverty class and just the rich. They don't want no middle class, because the middle class is always a threat to the rich, always have been. These people in this country are just literally destroying the fabric of it. They have destroyed the fabric of the traditional family, which the traditional family was the nucleus of what held everything together. They took God out of everything, right? Which God, you take him out of everything, then who you going to replace him with? Satan. And that's what has been replaced in America. You wonder why America has all this sin and unrighteousness in it and all kind of filth, is because they took God out and replaced God with Satan. Because you're going to have one or the other. You're either going to have God there or you're going to have Satan. It's no in between. They have taken out God, put Satan in, taken out the traditional family, have this modern crap that's going on today that don't work, that never held the country together, don't hold families together. Families are breaking apart every day. They threw in this modern, this no-fault divorce. They threw in this deletion of babies, all kind of things they had threw in that was never had in this country before, like in the 50s and the 40s, etc. When they didn't have all that. The food is fake and full of chemicals. They even putting chemicals in your water. You go buy a bottle of water and you see a chemical in it. Why are you putting a chemical in water? It's water. But the American dream is dead for a lot of people. Hence to why a lot of people that eventually realize it and starting to move out of America. You have a lot of people moving out because they're seeing that they can't make it here. It's too expensive for regular people. And unfortunately, people have not wised up to that. They still letting politicians divide everybody on color and political party while they sit back and ruin the country. Black folks and white folks got literally the same problems. Hispanics and Arabs and all different people got the same problems. You can't afford nothing either. But these politicians will make sure to pit everybody against each other. It's the black people's fault for everything, right? But you don't have nothing either. You on the street too. You on drugs too. Why are y'all still voting for the same politicians? What don't make sense to me is y'all keep voting for the same politicians. I'm talking about in all communities. You vote for the same politicians. How is Mitch McConnell, 81 years old, still up there? How? How is Biden the president? How? Like, come on, y'all. Y'all can't say let's cycle this new group of people. Let's try something different because these people have ruined everything. Y'all keep voting for the same people. And all these people are mega rich. They can't even relate to you. See, they living great in America because they got money. They going to Martha's Vineyard. They living it up. But what about a lot of you? Some of you are homeless. They don't care about you being homeless. The American dream is dead for the majority of the country. It is. You can't afford a home. Interest rate 6.7% as of the filming of this video. Come on now, you can't afford that. You go from 0% interest. I say even you'll raise them maybe 1-2%, but 6.7? Come on now. People cannot afford that. But the people in this country has allowed it because you have allowed corporations and politicians to destroy this country. It's your fault because you haven't took a stand against the corporations and the politicians. And that's why the American dream is dead and why immigrants say, nah, I'll go back to my homeland. I'm going to have to go back because I can't afford it here. But let me know what you think about, what our Jamaican sister had to say, because it's the truth. The American dream is dead for the majority of this country. It is. And we need to understand that harsh reality.